If you don't know, the Rell brothers recently added a feature to Rell Seas that could actually completely change not only how Roblox anime games are played, but Roblox RPG games in general. Completely changed the way they're made and played on the platform. And I'm going to tell you exactly how this new feature is going to change Roblox RPG game. But before we actually get into that, I do want to ask you guys a serious question. Why are you actually excited for Rell Seas? Now, the majority of the time when I ask people questions like this, they just say, oh, finally getting a new Roblox anime game. Oh, it's a new One Piece game finally. Or sometimes they're just glazing the Rell brothers and say, oh, the Rell brothers are making a One Piece game. It gotta be good because Shindo Life 2 was good. And I'm not gonna lie to you, these are all the wrong reasons to even look forward to Rell Seas. And then you have the very small portion of people that say they're looking forward to the combat and fruit powers etc. And in my opinion, that's just pretty silly in general. Rell Seas combat looks interesting, however it's definitely not going to be the best combat system we've seen on the platform. I think I would give that to a game like Yahiba. I genuinely think Rell Seas is going to be the best game on the platform and genuinely revolutionize Roblox anime games because of the innovations and things that they are bringing into the game. And the feature I'm going to be talking to you today about is something so small, but it's such a huge deal because we actually don't see it in RPG games, we don't see it in Roblox anime games. Roblox developers just don't outside the box. So something as simple as this goes over everybody's heads. As well as that, it might just be an effort or optimization thing that developers just don't think about in general. Now, if you take a look on Twitter, Rell Sin actually recently said, Rell Seas maps will not be empty. I want a world where you feel like you're part of it. Hundreds of NPCs will be on singular map. And as beautiful as that sounds, as beautiful as that is, my response to that was, as long as it aligns with gameplay. No point having NPCs in the world if interaction with them is pointless / you can't even talk to them. And then I said, best example I can give is Pokemon games. Random quests that reward you, HMs, TMs, random gadgets, items, and sometimes even Pokemon. Now, I do want to kind of dive into my explanation behind all of it. There's been many occasions where you've seen games that have NPCs walking around for no reason. Whether you can or cannot interact with them, they don't actually do anything for gameplay. It ends up being a waste of space, a waste of render space, and they just end up lagging out your PC or mobile phone or console. The best examples I can give are older One Piece games and even games like GPO. There's a lot of NPCs in, let's say, places like Alabasta that you could talk to or randomly kill, and it never really did anything. Killing a few NPCs would trigger the town's police guards to attack you, but even then it doesn't actually contribute towards gameplay. It's just there for no reason. Now, the reason I brought up the Pokemon interaction is because a lot of times within Pokemon games, a lot of times, all the time, there's always buildings that you can go inside of and interact with citizens inside of it. There's always citizens either inside buildings or outside buildings walking around or standing next to a building that you're always going to be able to talk to, and they always give you some form of dialogue. Now, some of these NPCs usually are useless, and some of these NPCs are usually not useless. Some of them don't actually trigger a response until you make it to a certain part of the game. For example, after you beat the Elite Four, there's like a lady you would talk to beforehand that wouldn't really do anything, but after you defeat the Elite Four, she would actually give you an item that you would need in order to get on the boat in order to go to the Battle Island. Something of those sorts. Sometimes it'll be like you talk to the NPC and then they give you a gadget or a device that allows you to scan Pokemon inside the bush easy. And I know there's a name for that item, I just can't remember it. Or sometimes you might just see an old lady, talk to her, she makes you do a little quest and she says thank you for your services, here's an egg, and inside the egg when it finally hatches is an Eevee. Or for instance, you might just see an old man standing outside a building, you talk to him and he ends up giving you a love scale or a love heart, and that item ends up being the item item, you need to evolve Feebas into Milotech. There's always a reason why talking to random NPCs will do you a huge favor in a Pokemon game. Majority of the time, you don't just run past every NPC you see in a Pokemon game. You interact with them because you never know what that dialogue will give you, will benefit to you, or how it will enhance your gameplay. However, on Roblox games, that's never the case. You're always going to be skipping past NPCs because they're majority of the time useless. Now, in a game like Rell Seas, if they did this properly, if they actually made citizens, random NPCs, and things of that nature just interactable to a certain extent. It's a One Piece game, it's a pirate game. So I'm assuming if you were to start killing NPCs on the island for no reason, it would probably affect your reputation. You kill too many NPCs, maybe the Marines actually come for you. If you're killing Marines, it's going to affect your reputation even further. And as we do know in Rell Seas, there's going to be different factions that you're going to need faction credibility for. Some factions may be good, some factions may be bad. Some factions may require you to actually have a negative reputation in order to actually even interact with them. Some factions are allied with other factions, some factions are beefing other factions, so you need to, again, we do know factions is going to have a big, huge difference in Rell Seas, and as you do know, factions are going to be tied towards the card ability things, the card system, and the card systems is going to enhance your character's gameplay, whether it's make you have one more extra Geppo, or make you stronger, or make you faster. We know the card system is going to be important. The card system ties to factions, and factions is most likely going to tie into rep, because we do know there's good and bad factions. So again, if everything ties together perfectly, this is going to be a huge deal. And if you look inside the Discord, now that we're on the Discord, as you can see here, was asking for a video, was saving this for movie 3, but this is 200 NPCs in one town in 200 FPS. So as you can see here, there's a bunch of NPCs walking around. Excuse me, there's a bunch of NPCs walking around. He's getting a good steady FPS from what he's claiming. I mean, this is just a test, so there's no point of pointing out flaws here, right? It just doesn't make sense to do that. But obviously, it's just seeing, okay, can the game handle a bunch of random NPCs walking around in one island? And obviously, it's not really an accurate test because he's probably the only person that's a player inside the game. So it's obviously going to be significantly less lag, and he's not doing any crazy abilities or anything of the sort. But that's not the point of the video. The point is the fact that he's actually able to generate this amount of NPCs is good. Now, within a real Rell Seas situation, random NPCs aren't just going to be walking around colliding into wars. They're going to be doing things that make sense. Now, if you come to this post, you're going to see here, they said we recently did a test in the entire sea, on the entire C1 with over 50 to 100 NPCs in towns and cities. I've never played the game on this platform as lively as this one. So we'll be showcasing it in movie 3. Great news for the game as we continue wrapping up the open world. And again, it's really good that there's a bunch of NPCs in each town. 50 to 100 NPCs in each town, and then the game is also going to have 30 to 50 player servers. I'm assuming it will probably be on the lower end to 30 to 35. But if there's over 100 NPCs in each town and city, let's just say 50. If there's 50 NPCs on average in each town and city, each one of those 50 NPCs, or at least half of them, need to actually be there for the sake of gameplay and not just aesthetics. I genuinely don't think aesthetic NPCs are attractive. I'd rather the world be giant and not empty, but not have NPCs around, than be giant and have a bunch of random useless NPCs that you can't really interact with around. Obviously, it would be nice. Obviously, we do know killing NPCs will make it like negatively affect your reputation, but there needs to be more than that, obviously. Another way I could put it is like Deep Woken. In Deep Woken, there was a library. I forgot the area. I think it was in Eresia. There's a library somewhere. No, it's not. It's in the other place, the second spawn. There's a library. You speak to the librarian. He sends you on like a mini quest, and there's like a house thing underneath Erisa, and you speak to the NPC there, and there's like a mini quest that gives you stuff, right? Obviously, there are going to be quests in this game, but are random NPCs going to contribute towards your gameplay? Are random NPCs going to have a chance of, you know, just sending you on a treasure hunt? There might be a chance there's a random chest. Again, I'm going to make this example. Imagine there's an old lady and she sends you on a quest to help her out. And then she ends up saying, oh, last week I found this fruit and it looks really nice. I was going to give it to my grandson, but he's away on vacation. I would like to give it to you as a reward for helping me. The fruit looks fresh. It's ripe. And you know, and you end up eating it, or you take the fruit and you end up finding out it's a devil fruit. There's random interactions like that you didn't know you would have talking to a random NPC. I feel like NPCs should be way more than just random NPCs standing or walking around the game. And again, if this is done correctly, this is going to revolutionize. Again, it's something so small, but no Roblox game does this. Literally none. So yeah, that's the end of my rant. I just wanted to just kind of bring this video onto you guys to let you know my mindset on this. Rell Seas is going to be amazing, but it's not for the same reasons you think it's going to be amazing. I think Rell Seas is going to be amazing because it's going to set trends and it's going to start the golden age. And the golden age isn't Rell Seas. A lot of people confuse. I'm going to go on a rant here. A lot of people confuse what the golden age is, right? The golden age isn't Rell Seas. Rell Seas isn't the golden age. Rell Seas starts the golden age. It's kind of like how Goldie Roger was the catalyst to the pirate era, to the new generation. Everyone trying to find the One Piece. Roger wasn't the reason the new era started. Roger was the catalyst to the new era, and that's exactly what Rell Seas is going to be. Rell Seas isn't the golden age. Rell Seas brings the start to the new age of Roblox anime games. So just wanted to clear that up. I hope you guys understand the difference. Honestly, it's pretty night and day. It's pretty simple. And if you didn't understand, go back to school. I'm gonna see you guys in the next one. Peace.